We are joined by All Family Pharmacies, Michael Kuenzler, the co-owner. Always a pleasure to have you, sir, to talk about these important medications that are literally life-saving and how the market is changing into online pharmacies, especially since President Trump signing that executive order to bring down the cost of pharmaceuticals. Now, All Family Pharmacy touting its July 4th promo as the biggest sale of the year. And I'm sorry to all my friends who have to see me constantly on Rumble and YouTube with the ads we're doing, but it's lots of fun to see that popping up. But what makes this Independence Day and the celebration of July in the summertime such a unique event and significant for Americans who value their health and that freedom and independence to choose life-saving drugs that can make a difference?
Yeah, so we thought, obviously July 4th weekend and week after that we would do the biggest sale solely because it's, America's birthday and Americans deserve to have medical freedom. They deserve to have these opportunities where they can purchase medication for off-label use. Or alternative options, or even just traditional antibiotics, anything along those lines. So we're hoping that we see it so far, but this is probably going to be one of the biggest sales we've had of the year. We have the buy one, get one free on ivermectin, mebendazole, and the hydroxychloroquine. So we have the triple combo, some of the most popular medications out there right now being used for alternative purposes. And we're seeing great results. Our patients are seeing great results. We're really excited to provide them this sale because some of these alternative purposes require higher dosing of the medication. So they're truly able to save money and build up a supply for the year, which is awesome.
And it's a buy one, get one free through July 13th, this upcoming Sunday, on ivermectin, the mebendazole, also hydrochloroquine, which really have been targeted by the establishment gatekeepers. They've said, dating back to the beginning of COVID, there's no way this would work. But then we saw some of these treatments being highly effective. Why did you select these specific medications, and what's the message you're sending by highlighting them during this time celebrating 249 years of America as we enter this Jubilee year of America 250, where freedom will ring throughout the great land?
Yes, we chose obviously the holiday for the specific reason. It's the biggest holiday of the year for us with the birth of America. These specific medications, ivermectin and mebendazole, are probably ivermectin is number one. Mebendazole is top 5 and biggest sellers that we sell. And the reason for that is a lot of our patients are using it off-label for cancer support. We're hearing a lot of great news, a lot of great stories. I mean, I just spoke to somebody this morning whose father is taking it stage 4 metastatic. And, he's just providing me nothing but good news on his father, which is great. We can't deem it that it's the medication working, but again, it's supporting him in his fight against cancer. And with all of the vaccines and all of the injuries coming out from them, we have a doctor up in Canada we're working with as a health coach for some of these medications, and he's even providing testimonials to us and to his patient base that it's helping. So right now, the reason that these are the biggest drugs out there is because of the support that it's providing to not only just COVID, but to cancer as an alternative purpose or an off-label use medication. And it requires a high dose, and a higher dose requires a higher dollar amount. And, that's just being blunt about it. So we're providing that sale to basically almost 50% off, right? You buy one capsule, you get one free. It's really helping a lot of our patients who are taking it for 3 to 4 months at a time. So that's why we chose those. And then the hydroxychloroquine is a wonderful medication people have been taking for decades. And again, they're using it for off-label use for antivirals. They're hearing, the COVID coming around again, whether it's true or not, we have no idea. But people just want to stay prepared. They don't want to get into a mess where they're sick in bed for 7 days. So we're giving them an opportunity to purchase a little bit of medication. We double it for free, and now you have it for the rest of the year.
And it makes a lot of sense because over the past few years, many Americans really doing right to try, which was championed by the Trump administration in the first term, despite the pushback by big pharma and government agencies. Are you still seeing that strong demand from the patients who want these alternative medicines in order to not only feel better, but to really stop cancers, as you're speaking of, COVID, all these other ailments, whether viral or bacterial, from occurring in the first place?
Yeah, there is a huge demand. I just spoke to a woman maybe 20 minutes ago on the phone. I mean, and she was stage 4, and she's got no other options. She's fighting for her life. She's doing chemo, she's doing radiation, and they're scared it's not going to be enough. With the vaccine injuries, they're stating, some of these doctors are stating it's causing metastatic cancer, it's causing it to spread, causing more aggressive types of cancer. We're seeing cancers at different levels now than we've seen in the past. I'm not an oncologist. I have family history of cancer. I lost my father. I lost my father-in-law to cancer. I've seen it firsthand. So we have sympathy for those who are coming to us. We're trying to do our best to help them, to provide them the right information. Again, it's off-label. It's not guaranteed, but we are seeing tremendous results on the pharmacy level just by word of mouth.
And my sincere condolences, because I'm a cancer survivor myself, Michael. We've spoken on this before, and
Yes.
You see it slightly differently, because when the C word hits, it's the sense of it's automatically, it might be death. And we're seeing that it's one of the top 5 leading items of death in the United States. And with so many Americans growing skeptical of big pharma and corporate healthcare, why should the freedom-loving families across this great land not only spread the message, but also personalize this with the off-label or alternative treatments that prioritize patient care and choice above all else?
Yeah, so, off-label use medication is cheaper than what Big Pharma is going to provide, right? You have all those expensive chemotherapies, radiations. We're always going to suggest you listen to your oncologist. But the Big Pharma way about it is to make millions and billions of dollars off of these therapies. When you use off-label use, it's not that expensive compared to chemotherapy and radiation, right? So we're putting the patient choice over the profit that we want to make. And it's plain and simple. We're always going to be there as the right to try. We're always going to be there to try to help you or support you in any way, whether it's, mentally, physically, the medication. It's something that we're going to get you. Vitamins, supplements. We're going to get you alternative use medications. There's a numerous amounts of information that we could provide, and our pharmacists as well as our physicians are willing to provide, because at the end of the day, most doctors, they're kind of just in and out of the room in less than 5 minutes. You don't really get a lot of information from them. They don't want to give you guarantees. They don't want to tell you stuff because they don't want to take the liability. They don't want to look like a liar. They just kind of brush it off and just pass by room, and that is a reason for insurance. We hate insurance because of that. Insurance is lowering the amount they're paying doctors, so the doctors double up the patients. And so we choose the patient over the profit, and that's pretty simple with the all-family pharmacy outlook. And that's why we've grown significantly over the last 5 years since we started in 2020. It's pretty simple, and we love it as a pharmacy. Our staff loves it, and our pharmacists have never seen it before. I have 5 pharmacists here that have over 30 years of experience, and they've never seen anything like it. And it's truly mind-opening to them, just being able to be a pharmacy, being able to not sit there and have the corporations and your bosses down your throat about why you didn't push vaccines this month. We're in flu season, and that's what their job is. We speak to them all the time, and we've got guys that work in corporate chains, and their job is flu season is to push the vaccines. If they don't hit their numbers, they get written up, they get in trouble. It's a long list of stuff that happens. And so here at this pharmacy, we don't do that. We tell them to make sure the medication's safe and effective, to answer the patients with genuine questions and answers, and to make sure that when you get off that phone, that person is comfortable taking that medication that they're looking at ordering. And it's pretty simple, and most of our patients know that.
Yeah, I think the pandemic era of a few years ago really pulled back that curtain, and you see these things with insurance companies actually owning pharmacies sometimes down the street. So it's, in a sense, a quid pro quo, or maybe some kind of special interest there, and double dipping, if you will. So you have that happening, but also I think what's even more insidious is the fact that you have medical doctors who sign on. So much of this is passionate. They dedicate their lives, their sacred honor, their wealth in many cases. It's expensive to go to medical school. And then they're told to do that, as you were mentioning, Michael, against the will of what they all sign on to do no harm. And then it's almost as if these conscience rights go away, something that's enshrined in law, but that high stake pressure from the corporations really seems to hit them. So how has that affected you as not only an entrepreneur, but someone who is in the medical industry?
So, we look for people who think like us. We look for people who talk like us, who act like us. All of our pharmacists, they're freedom thinking individuals. All of our physicians are freedom thinking individuals. I met a lot of my doctors from the America's Frontline Doctor Group when we did the telemedicine, and those were the ones on TV when the white coats that President Trump was trying to protect. Those are the doctors we look for. We look for pharmacists, and you'll be surprised. A lot of pharmacists are very freedom thinking individuals. They want you to try stuff. The thing that's holding them back is the corporation they work for. And here at All Family Pharmacy, we're a family owned independent pharmacy. We're not going to be upset with a pharmacist for telling a patient something, to try something new, to look at an alternative use, to guide them in the right direction. We're not going to do that. We're not going to push them to tell the patients to take vaccines and take all these expensive medications when we can provide them similar medications at a cheaper alternative price. That's just what we do. And our patients love us for us. You can look up the reviews. You can look up our license. Nobody complains. It's very far from few. And the ones that complain are, stuff we can't defend or fight. And these are probably people that are after us for political reasons. That's usually what it comes down to, or a competitor. It's one or the other. But, we're a family owned. We're fighting through it all, and we're growing, and we're going to continue to grow as long as we have people like you at RSBN that are helping us and getting the word out there so people are comfortable utilizing our sources, our resources, and our website and what we have to offer as an online pharmacy.
Well, that's our mission here, to get the right information out to people so they can make that informed decision. And All Family Pharmacy really has positioned itself as a champion for medical freedom. It's no insurance, no hassle, no red tape. It cuts against the bureaucracy for prescription-driven medications that are life-saving. So how does this sale that ends on Sunday really align with your ultimate mission?
Yeah, we provide the medications that we're simply guiding people for at a cheaper price now. We do this sale 3 times a year. The last year we did it twice. This year we're on track for 3 times. It's a huge sale. It provides almost a 50% discount basically, and it's going to allow those who cannot afford alternative treatments that are needing to take this medication for 4 to 6 months to be able to provide it now. It's as simple as that, and we're going to continue pushing sales like this. We're hoping after the sale we can bring some pricing down, like President Trump is pushing to do. As we grow, we bring our pricing down. And it's just as simple as that. We're hoping that everybody's happy with the sale, because I know we're happy at the end. We gain a lot of patience. We gain a lot of trust. It just gets really busy here.
Oh, absolutely. No question about that. With such a great deal, like 30 turns into 60, 90 turns into 180 tablets. We're talking hydrochloroquine, ivermectin, mebendazole, among other excellent treatments from All Family Pharmacy. Where can people go from today through Sunday, July 13th, to take advantage of this really once in a generation lifetime? This is a huge, huge offer that really should not be passed up.
Yeah, so allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. You can go to our website. You can place it under the ivermectin tab or the shop all medications tab. Once you place your order, we automatically double the ivermectin, the mebendazole, or the hydroxychloroquine. So we'll double the order once you place it. It's not on refills, it's on new orders. And a lot of people ask why, and it's for legality purposes. These are prescription medications. They do require a physician to review the profile, to speak with a patient. They want to review everything. So when we're doubling that order, we want to make sure we're doing everything compliant. And we're going to send it to a doctor. We're saving you tons of medication on, tons of money on the medication, So you just unfortunately have to pay a $20 doctor fee, which last time I checked is far lower than what people's copays are.
Yes, that's the truth of it. I love the advertisement of copays, and then sometimes it seems to double or triple even for a basic visit to go see the doctor. And that's something just out of personal curiosity, Michael, from your expertise co-owning All Family Pharmacy, from being in the medical field, how many people, without violating HIPAA, of course, and things of that nature, do you have patients that are coming to you saying, I'm literally running out of my life savings trying to survive and trying to keep going, when you have terrible diagnoses such as cancer? I mean, we've heard these stories in the past. We've had situations like Obamacare, which proved to not really work out for most people because it was government infused and a government takeover of the healthcare industry. But this has been a big topic in America, really 1950s on, that people are going bankrupt because of healthcare, trying to survive. Do you have patients coming to you looking for that financial relief?
Absolutely. It's unfortunate. It happens all the time. We speak to these patients and, they go up in the chain. When a conversation like this happens with one of our technicians, they're trained to come to one of the upper management, myself, my brother, who's my business partner, as well as one of our managers. And we're going to figure out a way to get them the medication they need at the price that's comfortable for them. And that's pretty simple. We tell people all the time, the prices are the prices, but there's always room for negotiation. We're always willing to talk. We're not going to sit here and say the price is one price. It's not like that here at the pharmacy, not at all. I have a lot of patients who are on Social Security and they have cancer. And so, we work out deals where we charge them, on the monthly basis, a small fee, and we provide them just a little bit of medication to get them through that month. The next month, we do the same thing. We don't charge them shipping. We eat it out of our costs. We pay for the doctor fee out of our own costs, just to be able to provide patients the medications that they need. That's going to keep them fighting against, obviously, the big C word. So we are willing to work with our patients. But when we run these big sales, for that specific reason. We give people the opportunity to bulk up on medication, to purchase what they need that they're comfortable purchasing for the future. The medication's going to last. The expiration dates are great on what we purchase. We just want to run these sales like this now every 3 months, 4 months, to make sure that people that are in those specific categories, they're able to purchase medication from us without breaking the bank, without putting themselves in major debt. We're not trying to make money off of people like that. It's, that is our number one rule here.
Michael Kuenzler of All Family Pharmacy, the co-owner, allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Take advantage of this great sale now through July 13th on Sunday. Buy one, get one free. Sir, you are doing the Lord's work, and we thank you for joining us live here at Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Appreciate you having me. It's great talking with you.